Welcome to the Recover You podcast. I'm Kylene.
And I'm Patrick.
We are a couple in recovery
From sex addiction
and betrayal trauma. Together, we share our story to encourage you on your journey. It's here that we talk about sex addiction, betrayal trauma, mental, emotional, and physical health, faith, and anything and everything needed to recover you to your most authentic self that God created you to be.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We won't sing anymore.
That was excellent, Patrick.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Since this is dropping on Christmas Eve, we thought we would start with a little festive song.
Yep. We will be dropping episodes 400 through 450. We're going to sing all the verses.
Since this is a holiday, and if, first of all, if you're listening to this on Christmas Eve, thank you.
Yes.
That's amazing. And we're so grateful to have you. And we know that everybody is so busy, and you probably have a lot to do today and tomorrow. And so we're going to keep this one fairly short, but we're going to just fairly briefly talk about unexpected benefits of recovery. Patrick's going to share one that he has experienced. I'm going to share one that I've experienced, and then we will both share one that we feel in terms of the relationship and where we are today.
Okay.
And we thought that would be a nice holiday.
We're going to be bing, bang, boom, in and out.
Holiday hope. Here we go. Okay.
All right. So, I think this is what was so crazy for me. What I realized is I thought I kind of had it together, and that all I had to do was learn how to not do the behavior. What I came to recognize was the amount of relational healing and communicative healing and nervous system healing and all of that I had to go through. And so not only here as I get close to 5 years, which is a really, really cool thing. Occasionally it hits me. I'm like, oh my gosh, 5 years. But I'm a much better communicator today. I am much more empathetic. I have the ability to think things through. I connect with my emotions much better.
Patrick, you're sharing a list now. It was one thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Item number 27. I'm a faster
No, that's good.
runner.
You can't stop. It's like so many benefits of recovery.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So I think that's the it is a very good goal to not do the behavior anymore. It's a fantastic goal.
Got to start there.
That's right. But the thing that you're going to realize is as you go through this healing process and you're allowed to have people show up for you and you can show up for people in an amazing way. I think that was the biggest surprise in recovery for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to remember the question someone asked me recently. It was something about our relationship before recovery. Oh, it was about did I notice that you're more present now in recovery? And it was a little hard for me to answer that in some ways because what I was sort of realizing was I didn't know before we got to this place that how do I explain this? When you don't know that something better exists, you don't know that you don't have it when you don't have it.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're eating and very satisfied with Kroger brand vanilla ice cream. And you're like, this is good. And I like it. And it's vanilla. And then through recovery, you're exposed to like Breyer's, like homemade vanilla or something. You're like, whoa, that's so much better. So I agree with you. The whole like not knowing before and then moving through the recovery. There's so many things I think that we couldn't necessarily even anticipate in terms of going, oh, I didn't think I had that before. Yeah. So for me, that would be similar. I think through navigating, understanding the addiction, navigating recovery from the trauma, and navigating reconciliation, and then beginning to work with betrayed partners and really spending the past several years having, gosh, I don't know how many conversations at this point, so many conversations, probably hundreds maybe, I don't know, just hearing just so many different stories and me being in the position to talk to and listen as a coach and as a human being, it has really challenged me and grown me in ways that I never would have anticipated. So in both areas, right? As a human being and as a coach, it has helped me become someone who listens more and tries to understand more. And it's developed me in going through what I've been through and trying to understand your brain and understand how people can do things that hurt other people and do things that they don't want to do. And it's really helped me develop greater depths of empathy. So I literally view the world completely differently than I did before this process. So when I hear stories, different things come to mind now that maybe in high school I would have had a certain outcome in my mind or a certain opinion in my mind. And now when I hear stories, a lot of times it's, I wonder what they've been through, or I wonder what has created what life events have created this this recipe of their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I think it literally has changed how I view the world, but in a more compassionate and empathetic way, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you look out. There's a very public football coach who has just kind of fallen for sexual things and stuff like that. And so like through this, I think 6 years ago I would have been like, oh, what a scumbag! I can't believe that he did that. Today I'm like, if I could get a hold of him and get him a slot in the Monday night group, I'd love to work with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like you understand the brokenness in people, and people still need to be held accountable for what they do.
Right. But, I was thinking about that too as we were talking. I was like, I've talked about how strong my boundaries are, so we can be really empathetic and still hold really strong boundaries. Those two things are not separate.
That's right.
Did I say that right? Or they are separate?
Not.
You know what I mean? You can hold both of them at the same time.
Don't not hold your boundaries.
Listen, I didn't feel good most of the day, and my brain is not at 100%. So if I say something that doesn't quite make sense, please give me some grace. I meant you can't hold. You can. Oh my gosh, here we go. You can hold both things at the same time. Boundaries and empathy. Thank you, everybody. Everybody knew what I meant. Okay,
she landed that plane.
Great. Okay. What is a unexpected benefit of recovery?
Oh man, I think like I always really loved you, and I always knew that you were super talented, and I think and I knew you were strong, right? But I don't think I had in any way, like as I've looked back now, like the amount, and we've talked about this on the podcast, how strong you are and how resolute you are and how clear in thinking you are and how that anchored us through this thing. So you held the rudder until I could come alongside you and hold the rudder, and so it was just it's a really amazing thing to be in this journey with you. I mean, as much as I wake up every day and go, gosh, I wish I hadn't hurt her. You know what I mean? Like, I really wish I hadn't. But it's like, this sounds really weird because it's like, but there's nobody I'd rather have gone through this with you or than you. Like,
there's no one you would have rather gone through it with. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Like
if your life was going to go down this path, you're glad it went down it with me.
Right. Yeah, I know. But it's like horrible because like there's that juxtaposition of really, really hurting you.
No, I understand what you're saying.
But like,
that's true. I agree. If my life had to take this route, I'm glad it was with you. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah. So
have we talked about that before on the podcast? That really super not spiritually accurate idea of like, if you were, because humans are our bodies, our physical bodies are in time, but our soul is eternal. And then the idea of like, what if your soul was in heaven with God, and then he was like, hey, there's a journey on earth, and this is what it's going to look like. Do you feel like your soul has the capacity to accomplish this journey?
Yeah.
And then, that's such an interesting concept. I don't necessarily think it's,
it's hard.
True,
it's hard.
But yeah. I think, the possibility of that was interesting to me when it came up. And then I'm like, okay, so if I was presented with that as a soul, going through this life and going through the challenges. And they're like, do you think you're strong enough to overcome these challenges and make it through? Would you accept the challenge to live this life?
Again.
And no, not again. Just like, this soul would go in this body. Could you do it? And by the way, when your soul goes into that body, you're going to forget everything. Like, you're not going to know that you knew that this was coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you're going to have to experience it
as if it's
a human.
The first time. Yeah.
It would be the first time because you're going to, but would you take up the challenge because do you think you could persevere through it? And that's just such an interesting thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, to you're saying, I wouldn't rather go through it with somebody else, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost a little bit of that idea of like, would we have accepted the challenge if we knew?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, that got super woo and super
weird.
It's
a little hard to put your arms around it.
I know.
I understand it.
It's such an odd thought, but sometimes I think what's encouraging to me is that I feel like maybe I would say yes.
Yeah.
But that's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is that your answer?
Is that okay?
No, that was no. Sorry. I felt like I interrupted you when I shared that little story, and so I didn't know if you had more to say.
No.
Okay.
No. I
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So for me, I think it's similar, and that would be the depth of connection. So we've talked about how I held you on such a high pedestal. I held our relationship on such a high pedestal that for a really long time I was like, how would I ever, feel that way again, or like get that back, or like I felt like I had this fairy tale magical view of life, and I really wanted to hold on to that, and then this sort of like destroyed that, right? So when you go from that high to that low, you are hoping that you can create something healthy. And then I was always like, I didn't want to be the beacon of hope for misery. So I wanted, if we were going to stay together, we wanted it to be really, really good. And we wanted to keep going until it was good, right? And so we always felt that trajectory. And so I think what's been really interesting for me is how, so year over year, the trajectory was better and better and better that I stayed and then we kept going. And then I'd say like in year 4 and very much in year 5, I think what has surprised me is how I thought the relationship we had was so good that before I found out, I mean, if you had really like pushed me, maybe there would have been some details that I would have changed, or some like, let's improve here, let's improve there. But I wouldn't have been like, here's a list of 1,000 things that I'm unhappy with in my marriage, right? But if you look at that and I was like, oh yeah, everything's good, versus now the relationship that we have and the way that we talk and the way that we think about the world and the way that we support each other and the way that we think about things and the way that we connect as human beings is so different. And so I think it's surprising. I guess if I had to summarize it very succinctly, the depth of connection, or the depth of connection, I think is what I think.
Yeah.
The depth of connection has maybe surprised me that I didn't maybe know that I didn't have that, kind of going back to what we were talking about at the beginning. Yeah.
I think it's a really interesting thing to be in a relationship with somebody that you truly do know everything about, and that person is really rooting for you and rooting for themselves as well. And those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can do both of those things.
Yeah.
And I think when the couple can do that with each other, root for each other and root for themselves to be the best versions of what they can be, it becomes a really rewarding combination. So.
I think I've gotten to know you better. I think I've gotten to know myself better. Yeah. It's been an interesting.
5 years.
Everybody listening knows,
yeah.
Especially if you've listened from the beginning, because we've been honest through it all. When we've had, hard times, we've gotten on here and talked about it. But yeah, I think that's surprised me is how connected we could feel, how much I actually do trust you, and I really admire you as a person. And so I think going from having you on such a pedestal to dropping so low and not knowing if we could make it, to being in a place where I'm like living in reality, but also at the same time I'm living in reality, you're living in reality. We're living in the same reality. And I like you, and I trust you, and I respect you, and I admire you for all the work that you've put in. I think getting there and feeling what that feels like maybe has been surprising.
Yeah, I would agree. Yay.
Yay. All right. Well, we hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season, a very Merry Christmas. And we actually will be having an episode on the 31st. So we will see you then. Have a great, merry, happy, joyous Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Woohoo! If you're listening to this, it means you've made it through an entire episode. Part of recovery is spending time engaging in healing and self-growth activities. We are thankful that you chose our podcast to be one of those activities today. Make sure you reward yourself for that accomplishment. If you've enjoyed this episode or this podcast, we would love to hear from you. Please take just a few moments to leave a rating and review, letting us know your experience with Recover You. We not only love hearing how these episodes are helpful, but ratings and reviews help others just like you who are searching for recovery information and support find the podcast too. We can't wait to hear from you. See you next week.